You could feel it before anything even happened. Like something in the air had shifted, like the world itself was holding its breath. And then, out of nowhere, Park Jimin posted that message. Not long. Not loud. Not even fully clear. But somehow, it hit everywhere. You guys, can we talk about that for a second? Because it wasn't just a message. It didn't feel casual. It didn't feel like something you scroll past and forget. It felt like a signal. Like a whisper before a storm. And if you were there, if you were watching closely, you felt it too, right? Because this is El Paso we're talking about. Right after BTS wrapped up that unforgettable night in Tampa, where everything already felt emotional, intense, almost overwhelming, like they left a piece of themselves on that stage. And just when everyone thought they had a moment to breathe, this happens. Jimin. Quiet. Subtle. But never accidental. He drops a message that doesn't explain anything, but somehow says everything. And suddenly, ARMY is spiraling. What does he mean? Is something special happening? Why does this feel different? Honestly, I tried to ignore it at first. I really did. I told myself, it's probably nothing. Just Jimin being Jimin. But then I watched it again. And again. And something about it, the tone, the timing, the energy. It didn't match a nothing. It matched anticipation. It matched something big coming. And here's the part that gives me chills. This isn't the first time Jimin has done this. You know that feeling, right? When he hints at something before a performance, and then later, on stage, everything suddenly clicks. Like all the pieces were there, you just didn't see them yet. So now you're sitting there thinking, what is he planning this time? And just when you think that question alone is enough to drive you crazy, you remember something else. Tampa. That moment. The way the lights dimmed, the crowd roaring like waves crashing into each other, the silence right before the music hit, and Jimin standing there as still, calm, almost fragile. And then, explosive. Do you remember his expression? That tiny shift in his eyes? It was soft, but powerful. Controlled, but burning underneath. And now, you're telling me he sends this message right after that? No way that's random. No way. Because Jimin doesn't just perform. He builds stories. He layers emotions. He creates moments that don't just happen, they unfold. Slowly. Deliberately. And El Paso feels like the next chapter. But not just any chapter. Something bigger. Something that, maybe, he's been preparing us for. And you can feel it building, right? Even before the concert starts. Even before the first note. Because fans are already talking. Already theorizing. Already replaying that message like it's a puzzle waiting to be solved. And the more you think about it, the more intense it gets. Because what if? What if that message wasn't just about the concert? What if it was about a moment inside the concert? A moment that's going to hit so hard, so unexpectedly, that nobody is ready for it? You feel that tension? That quiet pressure in your chest? That's exactly what makes this so addictive. Because you don't know what is coming. You just know something is. And then imagine this. The night finally arrives. El Paso. The venue buzzing before the doors even open. Fans lining up, holding light sticks, voices overlapping, laughter mixed with nervous energy. But underneath all of that, there's something else. Expectation. Because everyone saw the message. Everyone felt it. And no one can shake it off. You walk in, the lights are dim, the stage is waiting, and somehow it feels like it's watching you back. Is that weird? Or did you feel that too? Like the stage itself knows something you don't? And then the music starts. Not loud at first. Just enough to make your heart skip once, twice. And suddenly, the crowd erupts. Because they're here. BTS steps into the light, and everything becomes louder, brighter, faster. But even in that chaos, even in that explosion of energy, your eyes go straight to Jimin. Because you're waiting. You're searching. You're trying to see if there's something different. And for a moment, there isn't. He's smiling. Moving. Performing like always, perfect, precise, effortless. But then, there's this pause. It's small. So small most people might miss it. But if you're really watching, if you're really feeling the moment, you catch it. That shift. That quiet inhale. That look. And suddenly, everything slows down. You guys, how does he do that? How does he make an entire stadium feel like it's holding its breath, just from a single glance? And right there, that's when it hits you. This is it. This is what the message was about. But wait. No. Because just when you think you've figured it out, something else happens. Something no one expected. And it doesn't come with a warning. It doesn't build slowly. It just arrives. The music changes. Not dramatically. Not obviously. But enough. Enough to make you feel like you've stepped into a different world. And Jimin. He's not the same Jimin from a few seconds ago. His movements soften. His expression deepens. There's vulnerability there. Raw. Unfiltered. Real. And suddenly, the noise fades. Not literally. But emotionally. Because everyone is focused. Locked in. Connected. And you start to realize. This isn't just a performance anymore. This is something personal. Something he's sharing. And then you remember the message again. And everything clicks. But not in a loud, obvious way. In a quiet, almost heartbreaking way. Because maybe, just maybe, he wasn't teasing something huge in terms of spectacle. Maybe he was teasing something huge emotionally. And honestly, that hits harder. Way harder. Because explosions fade. But feelings? They stay. And just when you think your heart can't take anymore, he looks out into the crowd. And it's not a general glance. It's not a performer scanning the audience. It feels direct. Like he's looking at you. Yeah, you. And for a split second, everything disappears. The lights. The music. The crowd. It's just that connection. That silent understanding. And you feel it. That message? It wasn't just for El Paso. It wasn't just for the concert. It was for this exact moment. This feeling. This connection. And honestly, can we talk about how rare that is? How many artists can make tens of thousands of people feel something so personal at the same time? How does he even do that? And just when you think this is the peak, that this is the moment everyone will talk about. No. Because remember what I said earlier? That wasn't even the part that shocked everyone. Because what comes next? It changes everything again. And the craziest part? You never see it coming. Not fully. Not until it's already happening, and you're standing there, completely overwhelmed, trying to process what you're feeling while it's still unfolding in front of you.